Hey guys, it is time to go over the new marathon monster, Mosscrawler, and find out whether or not she is worth getting. She is a cursor, which is not the best role to have. I mean, you really don't need a cursor, so hopefully she is really good. Her design is cool. She kind of looks like a superhero or something like that, which is pretty neat. So yeah, let's go on down to the traits. It's got torture immunity, anticipation, and AoE days. Those are decent, I guess. Rank 0 is definitely the best, which is great because you don't have to rank her up in order to get it. And yeah, torture immunity is really good. And then her relics are Mask and the Amulet, which are also pretty great. Those are really good relics. So let's go on down to the pros and the cons. So we have a great trait, good cursing and major, and total damage reduction, which are both really good. Daze and poison, which are not as good, but still pretty decent. And then he also has access to self-negative effect removal, which is great. I really like that. Mostly low stamina costs and cooldowns, and great relics. Yeah, really good pros. And then the cons are awful move pool. Green Villain gives himself a major damage reduction, easily denied, and her two best moves have 3 and 4 cooldowns respectively. So yeah, that is kind of not great, but I do think the pros outweigh the cons so far. So let's go on to the moveset to see if that changes my mind. So we have an AoE total damage reduction times 2, which is interesting. I'm not sure why you would need it twice. And then that also does daze, which is okay. It has a 4-turn cooldown though, so you'll only be using that like once in a battle. That is not very good. And then the other move is AoE and nature damage with poison and daze, which is fine. AoE damage reduction with major damage reduction, which is pretty decent. And then you can also pick between a single target poison and a self NER with major damage reduction. You'll definitely pick the self NER. But yeah, those are decent, I guess. Not too great though. He does have some decent moves though. She's got some pretty good ones. I like the AoE total damage reduction. That's pretty decent. It does have a 4-turn cooldown though, which isn't great. So, overall, pretty good moves, but very high cooldowns. I'm not a huge fan of the moves overall, though. And then, the recommended runes, I would say you just need to put team speed on this monster, probably, just so that your other monsters can go quicker. Maybe speed, if you want to use it as sort of a denier. If you want to go and get that total damage reduction on first before the enemies attack, that might be good. So that you can kind of just outspeed the enemies so that they cannot do any damage. That could actually be pretty good. I like that. The recommended runes, or relics, actually, over here, are these masks and then these amulets. Most of them are going to, of course, be ancestral. We only have one obsidian relic that's pretty decent right here. And we have one obsidian mask right here, which is pretty decent. But yeah, just use whatever relics you have are. These are just the best ones you can use on this monster. But of course, you can just use whatever the best things you have are, since of course those will be the best for you. But yeah, for relics, go ahead and use any of those. For runes, you can use the team speed. So the recommended allies, I'd say there are monsters or some ancestor monsters that could be awakened by putting negative effects on the enemies. That could be really good since it can put 3 negative effects in one move right here, which is pretty good. If the total damage reduction counts as 2. I think it should count as 2. So yeah, that could be really good for this monster. I think it is, which one is it? Diablo's Hellbringer maybe? That needs negative effects? Maybe that one's the control effects one though. I know there's definitely an ancestor that needs negative effects though in order to awaken. So this monster could be great paired with that one. But yeah, you could also just use any tank probably to protect this monster since it can be denied very easily. So if you get like a tank with Mega Taunt so that it cannot be hit by deny moves, that would be pretty good. And maybe like an attacker along with it as well. Since this monster doesn't seem to do too much damage, like not at all. It looks like its highest damaging move is 20 damage, which is not great. So yeah, it cannot do very much damage. You will definitely need an attacker with this monster. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of Mosscrawler though. Honestly, I think she's decent. She has some decent moves, but she's definitely not overpowered or anything. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of her, and what monsters you guys are going to be using with her, and what runes and relics you're going to put on her, if you're going to get her. And let me know if you guys are even going to get her. Since she is in a race, you do kind of have to try a little to get this monster, which isn't great. But yeah, if you're going to get her, go and join a good team during this event in order to go and participate and get this monster. And I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think as always, and goodbye.